Alright, y'all. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Mr. Medium Dirty himself, Court. Got another story time for y'all today, but before I get into this, I want to make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, please, because I'm not trying to do this for free for much longer. But yo, today's story is about the time that I worked at a dispensary in South Central, and they was trying to extort the dispensary. And when I say they, I mean the gangs in the neighborhood. So check this out. Down on my luck, living in Hollywood again. I got a lot of stories from Hollywood. So I'm living in Hollywood, down on my luck, no job. It's about like the second, third week of March. Broke as hell. Rent coming up. Gotta figure something out. So I start calling around, little situations, whatever. Spoke to one of my friends from like back when I used to work at Flight Club in LA. So he hooked something up for me. He was like, "Yo, I got these friends and they got dispensaries, stuff like that, so you could work with them and stuff." All right, cool. So I go, I do the job interview. Job interview goes wonderful. They like, "Yo, are you comfortable working in South Central?" I'm like, "Yeah, which neighborhood is it?" They was like, "Oh, we don't know which gang it is, but here's the address." They gave me the address. I look it up. I'm like, "Okay, it's the East Coast Crips. I'm cool over there because I know a lot of people, who share the same ideologies as them. So I'm figuring I'm going to be good." So my plan was to go over there not looking like myself because I got a real stern looking face. I look like I could easily fall in with the gangbangers like at the time when I was out there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get dressed as a Muslim. So here's what I did. I'm not going to break out the kufi because I got too much hair for it right now. But I had these glasses, right? I had these glasses and I had a little small kufi that I copped when I was on the trip to Brooklyn. And I'm in that bitch like this. I told him my name was Ali and I'm in there working as Ali, right? So this is who showed up to work. So I'm in there as Ali. I'm working. First day we got there, I had to help them with the construction for the site. So we putting up like different desks. We putting up all types of fixtures, stuff like that. We filling the place up with the items, to be sold there. But I didn't realize the place that was right next door was a whole nother dispensary. Every dispensary in South Central has some type of ties within the local community, if you get what I'm saying. There's like vested interests with like the gangs and stuff. So we did nothing that first day. We just did construction. The second day we opened up. We did wonderful, yo. We made probably like $12,000 that first day. What I wasn't thinking though was if we made $12,000, they didn't make $12,000 that day. So money was missing from there. At the end of the first day, some big guy comes into the shop and he's like, "Yo, my name is so and so. I'm not gonna say his name." He's like, "I gotta, you know, share of what's going on next door, and I want to know who owns this. Do the brothers own this?" By brothers, I'm assuming he meant Muslims, but I wasn't about to tell him who owned the shop. It was two Asian niggas. Them niggas was brothers, so I'm like, "Yeah, the brothers own this shit. Technically, it's two brothers that own it, right?" So he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna leave my phone number. Have them give me a call." So I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna tell him." He walks out. I call him. I'm like, "Yo, big motherfucker came in here. He about 6'8", about 400 pounds." He said, "Call him. I think y'all should call him." They was like, "Yeah, that's just some ghetto shit. We ain't gonna give him a call." I said, "Yo, he looks serious. I think y'all should give him a call." So second day comes. We in there. We doing another lovely day of business. I'm the only person working there. We got two security guards. Not so closer to the end of the day, more so in the middle of the day, big guy comes back. "How you doing, brother?" Nobody called me. I'm like, oh man. Well, I told them to call you, man. If they didn't call you, that's on them. I'm gonna call them, and I'm gonna get back to you about why they ain't call you or something. I was trying to say whatever I could to get that nigga up out the shop because he was too big, and I ain't want. He looked like he was bulletproof. That's how big the nigga was. So I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, all right, before I leave, I want to tell you if something happens. I know y'all got cameras in here. I wasn't here. I was like, yeah, bro. I don't know who you are. It's cool. I just wanted him to leave. So he leaves. I call him. I'm like, yo, big guy came back. Sounds more serious than yesterday. I think y'all should give him a call. They like, yeah, we ain't giving that nigga no call. Fuck him. I'm like, all right, cool. So day end, I go home, back to my nice, lovely place in Hollywood. I'm sleeping. It's like 1, 2 in the morning. I get a phone call. They're like, yeah, somebody drove a van through the hole. Like, they drove a van through the wall, left a big ass hole. I'm like, oh shit, told y'all to call that nigga, but alright, cool. Not my problem. I go to sleep. I wake up the next day. I'm assuming I don't got work. Turns out I do got work. So they called me. I'm supposed to be there at 10. They called me at like 12. Like, yo, where you at? I'm like, oh, I thought there was a big ass hole in the wall and y'all was having a war. I wasn't going to come to work today if y'all was having a war. So they was like, yeah, well, we got some guys there doing some contracting. Go help them, fix up the thing, sweep up the shop, restock the shelves, stuff like that. So I go, get down there. I see there's a big ass van size hole in the wall. Like they drove like a U-Haul truck through the wall, right? So I go in there, I'm sweeping up everything, I'm restocking the shelves, and then some big guy comes in there. This time he's not black, he's Tongan. I'm from Brooklyn. I never heard of Tongan. I know what a Samoan is. So he comes in there and he's like, yo, I just want to say, I'm with the people next door also. It's crazy what happened in here. I don't want things to get worse, so I'm going to leave my phone number and I want them to call me. At this point, I'm like, damn, it's too many big motherfuckers walking in here, leaving their phone numbers, trying to extort us, and I don't know how to deal with this because I keep telling them to call them. They don't ever show up at the shop, and these niggas is not calling them. So I'm like, all right, well, I call them, and I'm like, hey, man, another guy came in here. Sound more serious than the last guy. I think the first guy was just the one they sent when they trying to check the temperature. This guy seemed like he know the temperature. Call him. For some reason, when I hung up that phone, because they told me they was going to call him, I didn't feel right. My knees started shaking, everything. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go outside. And I was just like, nah, don't go outside. It's not a good neighborhood. Just call your Uber and leave. So I called my Uber, and just as I called my Uber, I hear through the hole in the wall, y'all motherfucking Mexicans better back the fuck up and open this door. These niggas start banging on the wall, kicking the hole out the wall. So I'm like, damn, I look out the window. It's 1,000 young gang members out there. They got the contractors hemmed up on the wall. They got guns. They got this. They got that. So I'm in there. I know they looking for the Muslim guy. I take my glasses off, take my hat off, and I'm in there, just bare. Dude comes in the shop. He runs around the wall. He sees me. I'm wearing a blue flannel at the time, luckily. So he's like, yo, did so-and-so send you? He's talking about the first guy. I'm guessing he assumed that I'm a Crip. So I put my Cali accent on and I'm like, yeah, homie, he sent me. He sent me. I'm making sure that y'all get up in here and do y'all thing. I'm going to get up out of here, little homie. So I run up out the shop. Long story short, they fucked that whole shop up, man. I'm outside. I go to the right. I see they got dudes hemmed up. I go to the left. I see the first guy, the big black guy from the first day. So I'm like, damn, I run straight. I see the security guard. I jump through the window of his car, and I'm like, let's go, let's go. He's like, all right, cool. He pulls off. I'm like, yo, where the hell was you at? Why wasn't you trying to secure us? He was like, oh, I didn't have my gun. I'm like, well, where the hell is your gun? Right as I ask that question, all I hear is, blah, 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 blah. Man, his gun was inside his book bag, inside the shop. They got his gun. They started shooting the whole place up. I left, and I never came back. They was paying me $500 a day but it was not worth it at all. I had to get up out of there. Well, that's the story. I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for coming to my, therapy session. I'm venting right now because, I had to get this story off my chest, man. I got a lot more of these, though. So I'm going to keep doing these every so often. I like talking to y'all. I guess I'm just rambling. Am I rambling? I'm rambling now. I ain't even going to cut all of this out. I'm going to just leave this in. Yo, thank you for joining me.